Look, self, the people around you do not give a fuck about you. I understand everything I am. The moment I choose to speak aloud, that is a fraction of anything that is coming from the actual being I am. My reality is fully within I. Anything you see appearing in this physical is the outer exterior of being able to get a glimpse into the reality I exist in. But judging me from the mere crust when you never even got to taste the pizza is ridiculous. My body is the crust. Everything I am is on the inside of that crust. Now, with that being said, I keep everything within because I am within. I am fully the being within. I am fully the voice in my head. I am fully I within. With that being said, for the past couple years, from 15 up till now, and I've been dealing with it way before, but it just reached the peak so as to manifest to the illness that it was. But before something manifests into a disease in the body, there is much buildup. There are many warning signs. There's a process. It doesn't just end up with you having this horrible illness in the body. It takes years and years and years and years and years of repetitive toxicity. Maybe it could take months with extreme toxicity, but you get what I'm saying? Disease manifests after an accumulation of toxicity in the body, so much to the point where the body no longer has the ability to keep detoxing it, so it starts to catch up, and then it starts to destroy whatever organ that toxicity is building up the most within the body. And now, with that being said, within these past years, from 15 onward, from the first few weeks of COVID onward, my body reached the wall of the buildup of all the horrible shit I ate throughout all my life. I was eating horrible shit throughout all my life. Now, people are so brainwashed in America, they'll think that Pop-Tarts, Lucky Charms, Hot Pockets, pizza rolls isn't horrible. Those are all lab products with hundreds of ingredients that you don't even know. You literally don't know what it's doing to you either way, or you're eating out of pure blind faith. Majority of people are walking around like zombies literally because they literally just take everything from surface value and are completely at the victim, or rather should I say at the expense, or they're susceptible to whatever's being done to them through all the things that are being pushed onto them that they take blindly, through the food, through the technology, through all these things that you don't know what it's doing to your body, but you just take and do and don't question, right? The food being the biggest one. Now, with that being said, through to all the horrible foods I've been eating that many so-called Americans, that because they exist in that toxic reality, don't see it as toxic, to an alcoholic, you drinking at 14 probably wouldn't be shocking to them, would it? You drinking every day, to an alcoholic, they'll encourage that. They exist in that realm of toxicity. Someone is used to doing something toxic all the time, they don't see the toxicity within it, and they'll most likely encourage you to do it. Now, with that being said, again, with all these people in America and even outside of America, because it's all man-made food, it's just America is the most toxic of the man-made food. And majority of people in America will be like, you're tripping, there's nothing wrong with the food because I eat it. Meanwhile, I can see all the symptoms of your sickness seeping through your flesh, your skin, your organs, the bags under your eyes, how you look, how you act, your behavior. Now, the problem is majority of people always ate this behavior modifier through the food their whole life, so they have no idea what their true behavior is. You're always under the influence of all the influences within the food, of all the chemicals, drugs, and substances they put in the food, that of which you have no idea are doing to you. So you have no idea what you truly are outside the influence of whatever's in the food, because you eat it the moment you become incarnated in this realm and are old enough to grow teeth. Soon as you grow teeth, they're real quick. Even in the baby formula, soon as they're shoving man-made poison into you. Now, with that being said, the accumulation of all the horrible foods I ate all the way up to 15 without any higher awareness, because I operated in the same state of consciousness that almost all of us do when we first come to this realm, where we think everything that is food is just food and that it has no effect on our body on a deeper level, and the only thing we do think about food is the little energy we get from people being all fit and physically healthy and being all like, eat your greens, in such a way that disconnects you from anything that's actually important. Because the physical health is actually the very last thing of anything I care about when it goes to my journey of healing through the food. The biggest thing I tap into when it goes to healing through the journey of the food is my literal feeling of I. Like the whole experience of my body, how it feels to be alive, my whole conscious experience is influenced by, I mean, think about it. If you inhale smoke, it'll get you high, which will change your whole state of consciousness. If you're eating something and breaking down everything within it, that's changing your whole beyond state of consciousness. It's changing everything in your body. In fact, everything in your body, your heart, your organs, your skin, your tissues, your cells are made up of what you're putting in your body. So you're literally becoming what you're giving yourself to build. So if you give yourself a bunch of shitty, disgusting junk, your body literally cannot operate at higher levels, to where it's even systematically designed to have most people be dumbed down, to not be able to operate, to question reality. You have all this toxicity in the body, then people, I think it's pretty obvious to start connecting toxicity in the body to our personality and the effects of what this toxicity does to our organs and how all our body is interconnected. So your one part of your body being diseased and toxic, it's going to ripple into all parts of your body. But just in general, toxicity in the body affecting your body, you are in the body. So it doesn't just, your body isn't just going to be sick or unhealthy and it's like, oh, my health is just my health, that's something separate from everything else I am. No, you are in the body, and so you are under the influence of what is happening to your body. So the functioning of your organs, your body, what's happening in your body is directly influencing how you feel as a soul, or our spirit, or just a consciousness, or being within your body. So many of the most toxic people in this world are literally suffering from horrible toxicity in all forms, and then they blame the victims. Just like they'll point at the little kid who grows up in the hood, who then starts banging guns, who only became everything that was planted around him, and he's not the one who put the guns in his community. He's not the one who put the drugs in his community, but then he's the one who gets pointed and blamed when he becomes a product of his environment. Same way they'll sit here and point out all these people who are being fed all this horrible toxic shit, and they don't teach you anything about deeper knowledge of the body. And because if they were to start connecting dots to toxicity in the body, your organs and your body and what's happening in your body actually is directly connected to how you act, your behavior. Many of mental illnesses, many of people doing horrible shit, many of just people acting in toxic ways, being so aggressive, mean, nasty. It's directly connected to what you're putting in your body. Directly connected. No, directly connected. Everything is energy. So we're all just absorbing energies in all form, and how you are and the personality you are and the energy you are is all the energies that are within you mixing up to create the energy that you give people when they're around you. Now, whatever energies you then choose to take upon to add to will mix into the energies you are, and you'll become even a different energy. But everything is energy. And when you take on all this toxic disease energy, it manifests as disease in the body. It can all be very, very, very easily connected. Now, tying this all together, because I reached the point of once again bringing up the word disease, through all the years of eating horrible toxic food, it manifested a horrible, disgusting illness in my stomach. A horrible, disgusting illness by the age of 15. Now, it was at 15 that I started becoming aware, and I had a spiritual awakening of food, and through that, as a chain effect, I had awakening of life. Like, I started awakening to all these different things in life, but it was through the food that I first started questioning things. that then opened up my mind to then question everything else. Now, with that being said, even though I woke up at 15 and started changing how I ate and attempted to go, I went 2 weeks fully plant-based. And then the problem is, ever since then, or ever since my initial awakening to the food and my initial attempt to break free from this man-made drug food, I then re-put it in my system, and then it's been a battle of trying to break the chronic addiction of this man-made drug food from reintroducing it into my system from my first time ever feeling somewhat free from it. Because when I first went 2 weeks vegan, if we want to call it vegan, plant-based, in 2020, April, first few weeks of lockdown, when I first started waking up, when the energy first started pouring on the planet, when my genetics first started getting activated, and the light codes of the sun and the sun first started heating up, 2020. The thing is, I went to about 2 weeks plant-based, and then I went around the wrong environment and became susceptible to energies to influence me to eat food when I didn't even crave it. So then after I was basically essentially allowed myself to feel peer pressure to eat food, after finally getting to a point of not needing to and only choosing to because I purely wanted to, after I chose to then reintroduce it to my body after 2 weeks of going plant-based in 2020, it then wasn't a choice anymore. I then refound to that reality of how horrible it was, how disgusting it felt, of the addiction, the chronic, because once you eat that food and the whole design of it goes in your body, it's re-putting you in that realm of your body being retuned into the biology of running on food. Because it's not a natural state for us to be eating all these solids and have to eat all these solid dense foods, especially as so-called blacks, Latinos, Anunnaki gods, divine nature beings that ate only the sun. And if we didn't eat the sun, we would eat solid, condensed forms of the sun in the forms of plants that feed on the sun. So we were eating pure sun energy in one way, shape, or form. That's all we ever ate. And it was never our natural state to eat all these horrible, dense, super dense solids, right? But we could configure and adapt to that. And so you see that my people now are some of the biggest consumers of all this horrible man-made shit. And we just break it all down and burn it all up, and we're eating all the time 24/7 and not questioning where it goes. But all that horrible, disgusting, toxic shit, right? It's just sitting in my body. That aligns with your chemistry to as soon as you re-eat the food, your body ate it, its whole incarnation, most of us. It's even deeper addictive than a regular drug because you're eating it. Like, I'm trying to get at the fact that taking a drug is just taking a drug. Like, if you were to, pop a Xanny pill, smoke a cigarette, drink alcohol. Drugs externally are their own thing that are really addictive. But what I'm trying to say is, through this spell of teaching my people to eat, period, and then through the generations of deeply ingraining that to us and tying us into a biology of getting us so used to eating, in the sense of how we do now, so-called blacks, Latinos at least, because human beings, it's natural for them to eat physical, solid density. They're physical beings. Human beings made in the image of the God species, they're physical beings. They taught us their ways, and now we're sick because of it. You see, blacks, Latinos, every time we live in the way of the oppressor, that's backwards to our actual nature. Our body is giving us all these signs that it's backwards to our nature, and it's making us diseased and sick. Our natural habitat and what we're supposed to be doing and what's good for our bodies is nature. They have to carve an artificial habitat in nature. It's the opposite for them. The nature doesn't feel good for these human beings. The sun actually drains energy from them. They feel drained in the sun. As soon as we step in the sun, we're getting powered up, charged. But before this, that my people ever even ate any of these solid dense foods and only ate on the sun that I speak of, like I was just saying, we ran on pure energy, or just in general, we never felt an attachment or a need to have to do something in the way that they have us running on a cycle of like this time matrix. Get up every day, slave reality, set schedule, wake up, eat here, eat there, go to sleep, eat again, go to sleep, eat again. It's a robot like schedule calendar like bot system that they set up just to have workers. The whole reason the whole system is set up within the 7-day calendar, get up, have a 5-day work week, weekend, repeat, do the same, eat at the same time, everyone given the same time schedule, is because they're programming you literally like all a bunch of bots. Life is in the present. And once you free yourself from being controlled by money within this matrix, you can then fully be in the present to live life and do anything that you're thinking. Now that's the biggest thing that they don't want you to be able to do. Freely live life outside of their control. They want you to have to chase physical security constantly so that you never have the ability to take that energy and then question reality outside of being in a scarce state. If you're constantly in a scarce state, worried about survival, you're not going to question what's happening in the world. You're not even going to give a fuck about the horrible shit happening in the country across the sea. About how they're treating our brothers and sisters over there and that. You get what I'm saying? You're not going to give a fuck about looking around you and questioning what's happening in the world around you. You're worried about how you're going to get money to eat, to pay your bills. So they have most of us in a root chakra state. A constant state of fear and survival. And if you rise up from that state, then they'll have you in your sacral plexus, corrupted by lust. And not just lust in the sexual way, complete lust of material, pleasure, blinded by pleasure. So that's actually what I meant, not lust, pleasure. Because that's the real energy of the sacral plexus outside of lust. Because that's what you're feeling through any sexual experience. Because the sexual is just one reality of the sacral chakra. That's just one form of use of that organ, of our sexual organ, which is what the sacral chakra is, which is a real energy that creates pleasure in you. Like your ability to feel pleasure outside of the physical stimuli of sex literally comes from the sacral chakra. Like the same way you feel physically pleasured when you stimulate that sacral chakra creates the energetic pleasure of when you watch a movie. So this is what I mean by the chakras are real, energy is real. your chakras are real organs in the body that create real energy in your body that literally dictate and run your body to create the experience in your body. Your heart chakra, yeah, it's your ability to feel and love. Like your heart chakra gives you the literal ability to feel into things. Your solar plexus gives you the will to do, to create. Your willpower, like the will to do, to act. Your intent. Your throat chakra gives you the ability to speak, literally. So on and so forth. Now, I'm channeling and just letting myself flow, but to tie things within my initial soul's purpose of hopping on camera is to get to the point that I understand that from their ego realities of disconnection to I, within the truth that we are literally all connected as one, and that I am the same life they are, just as alive as they are. You're just numb to I and I'm disconnected from yo. Within that reality, without them understanding that, the people around I within their ego reality do not give a fuck about I. Like I was saying, I've been dealing with beyond horrible sickness in ways that I can't even express in words, but I can try to. But before I try to put them in words, I already am experiencing and feel and know everything. It's like I can almost feel what's happening in my body, but it's so hard to put into words. And I feel horrible. I feel disgusting. And in fact, the whole reality of how sick I get is the main reason I know, even beyond anything that I already know with the food. Like, I know 100% when I enter what the food is true. Like, it's beyond anything I'm going to tell you about the food. Before I tell you about it, I'm literally living it. So it's beyond true. Like, we're past the point of it being true. Like, when you take a hit of a joint with cannabis, the truth is it gets you high, does it not? If I eat these man-made foods that are man-made concocted science lab products that I say are exactly that, and then when I eat it, it's confirmation of exactly that, and I'm not just talking about something I believe, I'm literally living it, and what I'm doing is, now I'm not talking about something I believe, I'm experiencing something, and then I'll talk about the experience if you want to listen. But before I'm talking about it, I'm literally experiencing it, whether I'm talking about it or not. So everyone in the ignorant state around me who's also literally suffering from things related to the food, suffering from realities related to sickness, that will all benefit from listening to the same journey that I'm walking. I'm literally all of y'all experiencing the same life y'all are, and y'all think I'm crazy, like I'm in a reality that y'all aren't in. I have the same body y'all are. I'm eating the same things y'all are. I'm around the same things y'all are, and I'm becoming aware of it and trying to find out what feels good outside of it and do the good thing for I. I'm using my own mind and intuition and guidance of God and I'm basically experimenting, like daring to experiment and find what's good. Like I'm doing the life experiment, trial and error. And I found so many things.